Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. First tonight, the Melbourne Miracle and the shot that's rung out around the nation. Jack McVeigh's buzzer beater from half court stunning Melbourne United and putting the Jack Jumpers within arm's reach of a first NBL championship.
Down by 1 with seconds on the clock. Even a huge mistake from Melbourne seemed to come too late for a Tasmanian miracle, but not according to Jack McVeigh.
Oh, Jack McVeigh with the shot of his life! Tasmania win Game 3!
A stunning shot from near halfway, turning the championship series on its head. The man of the moment, all smiles arriving home in Hobart, the talk of the nation.
It was a wild game to be a part of, and it will be one that sits in my memory for a long time.
I was seeing from behind the play when he released it. It looked good. Then I know it's Jack. That's what he does.
McVeigh's certainly no stranger to clutch shots. Even back in college basketball.
He got it! He got it, Jack McVeigh!
Although none have come at such an important moment. Still, Scott Roth is keeping a level head.
Well, it's just another shot. If we happen to somehow or another win a championship, they'll talk about it. But right now, it's just another half-court shot that went in.
And just one highlight from a collection of huge performances across the team, putting Tasmania 1 win away from a maiden NBL championship, facing Melbourne for Game 4 in Hobart on Thursday night, although it seems John Cain was almost home turf.
Love about him, you could hear him whatever stadium we're in, going through the airport. Just the support from them. Wherever we go, we always know we got someone in the crowd with a Jack Jumper jersey on, and we appreciate it.
I expect a war. Again, they have world championship guys over there. They have, in my opinion, the best coach in Australia over there. So they're coming to swing.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Hobart Hurricane star Nikhil Chowdhury has fronted a Queensland court charged with rape. For more, we're joined by Victoria Eastoe, and Vic, his trial began in Townsville District Court today.
It did, Michael, and the 27-year-old pleaded not guilty to 1 count of rape. The charge dates back to May 2021, where it's alleged the Indian cricketer attacked a woman in his vehicle parked on Townsville's nightclub strip. The trial is expected to last at least 3 days. The Hurricanes were contacted for comment today, but did not respond to our requests. Michael.
Thanks, Victoria, for that. Senator Jackie Lambie says she wants the Tasmanian Parliament to get to work as soon as possible, indicating her party will back Jeremy Rockliff. The Liberals now a step closer to cobbling together the support needed to govern.
The dust is yet to settle on the state election, but the deputy's taking minority life in his stride.
The right thing to do, the humble thing to do, the leadership thing to do is to now take what the voters have said and get on and make it work for our beautiful state.
With the Liberals placed to secure 15 out of 35 seats, they'll need 3 supporters. Jackie Lambie, whose network is in line for 3, indicated today her team is likely to give confidence and supply.
That won't give them a guaranteed, whoever ends up in power won't give them a guarantee that that we will be voting on every piece of legislation with them. I think that's a good thing. You know, it keeps them on their toes.
Putting any blood from campaign shenanigans behind her and laying the path for a Liberal government to be returned. Yesterday, Labor leader Rebecca White conceded defeat, but Rosalie Woodruff is still in hope. Either way, 4 or maybe 5 Greens are going to make their presence felt to Jeremy Rockliff.
He has shown that he is not good at working with people in the Parliament, and we just hope he's learned his lesson.
Mr Tucker, as recently as January, threatened to bring down the government. The Jackie Lambie network candidates are not saying that. They're saying they want stability, and so it's on that basis that we believe we can work something out.
In May, there'll be upper house elections in Hobart and in Prosser. That race is wide open, with Jane Howlett winning a lower house seat. Josh Willie's victory has triggered an Elwick by-election.
I'd like to be an upper house member that really is a strong voice for the people that I represent.
Popular Glenorchy Mayor Beck Thomas running solo, shooting down potential endorsements from both major parties.
I think that independence has a real strong place, particularly in the upper house, and I'm fiercely independent.
For more, we're joined by state political reporter Josh Duggan. And Josh, what's the latest on the Labor leadership?
Michael, it appears there's a mood for change after Rebecca White led Labor to its 3rd straight election defeat. 7 Tasmanian News understands that Dean Winter's been telling his colleagues he will put his hand up for the leadership. If there is another challenger, it's likely to be Josh Willey, who will have the backing of the left faction. If 2 people do run, then there'll be a vote of Labor members and a vote from the caucus itself. Whoever gets that job then has the task of bringing Labor together after a disappointing result. Michael?
Thanks for that, Josh. Josh Duggan reporting there. AFL Tasmania is wasting no time preparing for the Devils' arrival in just 4 years' time, outlining a vision to boost player numbers across all levels, giving the next generation the best fighting chance for selection.
Unveiling a bold target to double local footy participation by 2028. AFL Tasmania wants 28,000 players by the time the Devils run out for round 1.
There's never been a better time to play footy in Tasmania. The opportunities on our doorstep are amazing.
Wasting no time harnessing the excitement from last week's launch.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Might have to switch AFL teams.
We want the stadium here.
Yeah.
We need it.
It's how we turn that into participation and draw on the hearts and minds of the young kids coming through to take up the game.
Among the key targets, installing goalposts in every Tasmanian school, upgrading 70 venues across the state and providing every child with a connection to the game.
To make sure we've got the capacity to keep growing and make sure we've got great environments for our players, umpires and administrators.
Also pushing female participation to the forward line.
Make sure we've got age groups where girls can play with other girls and they don't need to jump in and play in a boys' competition.
A commitment to kicking goals for generations to come.
Everything's going to ladder up to this team and it's going to be the beacon of pride for our state, but it's how we make sure everything underneath is really, really strong.
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Nick Kelly joins me now with an update on the Tasmania Devils. And Nick, it seems the interest in memberships hasn't slowed down at all.
It sure hasn't, Michael. The Devils family is now 175,000 strong, most of those from Tasmania. There are plenty of fans around the world. 45 countries, in fact, are represented in the member base, most popular in the USA, where our sister side of sorts, the Texas Devils, has snapped up foundation memberships for the whole club. The question on everybody's lips, though, is when can we buy that foundation jumper? Members will be given exclusive access to the first merchandise sale straight after Easter. The first member packs were posted out today, but an extra 300,000 stickers are being printed to cater for that massive demand, so it might take a while to get all those posted out. But Michael, there's certainly plenty of other local sports news today. I'll have all that when I return a little later.
The facade of an iconic theatre closed for decades has been revealed on one of Hobart's main streets. The century-old structure was once one of the city's great entertainment centres, with many hoping there are plans to restore it to its former glory.
It's the new yet old arrival catching eyes across Hobart. The facade of His Majesty's Theatre, built in 1910 on Liverpool Street, revealed during recent construction work. The original structure prompting a string of memories from the past.
It was wonderful, you know, and as a child, you sit in the front of the circle in the balcony and drop Jaffas down, and they used to roll down the floor.
I can't even remember what was there now. I think it was just white strips, but yeah, it certainly looks a lot better now.
All Goods, the store below, told 7 Tasmania News they plan to restore the building facade to as close to its original features as possible. Welcome news for Hobart's theatre community.
The opportunity to kind of understand a little bit about what was happening in a venue like that, who was going, what their experience was, is, you know, it's really exciting.
The reveals also left many wondering what other architectural treasures are hidden across the state, with many original facades masked between the years of 1950 to 70.
Hobart is all about heritage and that's what we like about it, you know. And you can still have modern developments, but, you know, to restore that, it's just beautiful.
With conversations between council and the owners still ongoing, the structure remains a peek into the past for now. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Easter is just days away, but Christmas was the focus of a special thank you morning tea hosted by Northern Tasmanian Charities. Organisers highlighting the importance of the annual community Christmas lunch in giving joy to those less fortunate.
A thank you to those giving up their time to bring happiness to Tasmanians doing it tough. Launceston Community Christmas organisers holding a special morning tea reflecting on Christmas past.
We've just invited this morning our sponsors as well as the volunteers that helped us out on the day, just to say a massive thank you for all that they have done.
More than 450 people attended last year's Christmas Day lunch, with an army of 90 volunteers to keep things running smoothly.
Some of them have been coming and volunteering at the event since its inception.
Today's morning tea was also an opportunity for Northern Tasmanian charities to join forces, uniting for a single cause.
The collaboration between community organisations to come together and jointly what we achieve for the community of Launceston.
Without all of these people, it wouldn't have occurred. So yes, it's really important that we do this.
Planning is already underway for this year's event.
So we started in February. We always start around about then to start organising ourselves again for this year.
Getting in early to ensure all Tasmanians can share in the spirit of Christmas. Mark Zeta, 7 Tasmania News.
There's a fairy tale feeling in the air after the Jack Jumpers' miracle win in Game 3 last night. Majuk Dang finishing with a 100% strike rate beyond the 3-point line, Tasmania landing 16 all up. Sean McDonald impressing the coach with a 13-point contribution off the bench, although this is not what fans will want to see. Marcus Lee limping through the airport on crutches after going down in the third quarter. The Jackies now have a chance to clinch the championship at MyState Bank Arena on Thursday night. A bit of local knowledge has gone a long way, helping Caraboss navigate tricky conditions at Beauty Point to claim the SB20 Australian Championship, winning 7 of 10 races. Gusts of over 20 knots keeping crews on their toes, but Caraboss would romp to an overall win this afternoon, 13 points clear. A late surge wasn't enough for Hobart's Jacob Despard at the Sydney Track Classic, finishing at 0.09 of a second behind race winner Rowan Browning in the 100-metre final. The Northwest's Chelsea Scollier helping her team smash the under-20 national record in the 4x100 relay, finishing third behind Australia A and B. This might look like a video game, but it's serious competition, and Tasmanians have cleaned up at AusCycling's eSports Championships. On stationary bikes, riders battle out in air-conditioned comfort. Kate Tridon coming from behind to win the women's. Josh Wilson and Josh Harris battling it out past some interesting scenery for gold and silver in the men's. The Tigers have had a beach day on what should have been day 5 of the Sheffield Shield final, suffering a 377-run defeat as Western Australia walk away with their third Sheffield Shield Marsh Cup double. WA's captain labelling his team the state's greatest ever.
Good evening. Hobart 22 today, Launceston 23 degrees and 21 for both Devonport and Burnie. Our high 24 at Friendly Beaches and St Helens, but boy wasn't it blowy around the state today. Temperatures generally below average. Ouse 21, Low Head in the Bass Strait Islands 20, Grove 18 and Strawn 16 degrees. The more dense cloud gathered over the west today as wave formations covered most of the state in those strong westerlies. A large mid-level cloud band is over the north of the country with thunderstorms across the tropics. The rest of the nation mostly clear. Tomorrow the westerlies will weaken, hopefully, over the state as the high to our north extends a ridge over Tasmania, a series of troughs over the north. Winds, as mentioned, from the west, reaching 25 to 35 knots initially over the south with swells to 4 metres. So we do have a gale warning for those waters from Tasman Island to Low Rocky Point, a strong wind warning from Stanley to St Helens Point, Wineglass Bay to Tasman Island, from Low Rocky Point to Sandy Cape and the southwest lakes. Hobart for Tuesday, 20 and partly cloudy, maybe a shower for Adventure Bay, 21 the top and 14 for Tarraleah. Launceston a high of 23, 21 for Devonport and Bridport, still windy in the northeast. Burnie partly cloudy and 19, 18 the top for Strawn with a shower or two. Marrawar the same, 19 degrees there. And a top of 22 for St Helens, partly cloudy. Same for Swansea, 21 the high for Whitemark. On Wednesday, a possible shower in the west and King Island, otherwise fine. Fine and partly cloudy for all of the state on Thursday, and sunny weather into Friday as all temperatures sneak into the 20s. Fine and mostly sunny weather for Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne and Sydney tomorrow. Rain on the way for Brisbane. A top in Brisbane tomorrow of 24 degrees. And currently partly cloudy conditions all around the state. Good to see you again, Michael, filling in for Kim Miller, who obviously hasn't made it back from her Rev Head weekend for the Grand Prix in Melbourne. Didn't think she'd be into that, but I guess there's a lot about Kim Miller we don't know, mate.
Yes, Murph, and I think you're the only one who can say that. Well, that is all your news for now. I'll be back with updates a little later on, but for now, it's good night.